And Jose is saying, how did you build your team? One that you could rely on. Yeah. So I kind of have, the way I work is I never have lots of employees. I believe that a small group of employees can change the world. Okay. I've always believed that. So I always keep it small, but I test my employees for 6 months initially. And I'll tell you how that works. So it's kind of like a paid internship. It's not formal, but they start doing work. And then after a while, if they're doing a great job, I give them more stuff to do. And if they're not doing a great job, I try to coach them, mentor them, and then I just don't give them much more stuff to do. So that's how I got my wonderful COO, Wrigley, and who's one of my students at San Francisco State. He's great. And then my chief creative officer, CCO, which is a guy named Matt Lacuse. Matt's a great guy as well. They're both great guys. And so Wrigley is one of my students. And I plan on hiring several more people, and they're going to end up being my students, probably online students, actually, at some point later this year. And then with Matt Lacuse, he was actually my son's golf teacher. And I can size somebody up pretty quickly. I usually go with my gut. But I was, every Sunday, Dylan, my son, my 10-year-old, would get golf lessons from Matt. And so one day I was on the driving range and Dylan was taking lessons, and I was reading a book, a YouTube book, actually. It was last year I was working on this YouTube course, and I was trying to learn more about YouTube. And he came up to me, and in the first 30 seconds, somehow we started talking about green screens and whatnot. He seemed like a great guy. And he knew some stuff about videography. And so I invited him over to my house, and then had him work on stuff for at least 6 months, just projects here and there, and he was great. And then now he works with me in full-time capacity. So that's how I met them. That's how I met them always. Yeah. And everything else I outsource, though. Like, I don't believe in having a full-time CFO. It's just not needed for a small company.